Just to let you all know, there'll be a few spoilers coming up in this video, so if you know nothing about the events in the series, then you have been warned. It's also pretty graphic because, well, it's Game of Thrones, isn't it? But other than that, enjoy.
Top 10 facts about Game of Thrones. Number 10. Name of Thrones. Since the show started in 2011, at least 146 American baby girls have been named Khaleesi after Game of Thrones' Daenerys Targaryen. Arya was also the fastest growing baby name in 2012, rising in rank from 711th to 413th. Other names that have been inspired by the show include Sansa, Theon, Tyrion and Sandor. And this trend has even spilled over into the animal world. In 2013, marine biologists discovered a new species of sea slug off the coast of Brazil. The slug had a pale, white, twisted body reminiscent of Daenerys' blonde braids. It was therefore given the name Tritonia khaleesi. Number 9. Sex position. The explicit sexual content in Game of Thrones is a staple part of the show. So much so that it warranted the invention of a new dramatic technique, sex position. Critic Miles McNutt coined the term in 2011 to describe the numerous scenes in the show in which major plot points are exposed by characters talking during sex. Furthermore, many of the Game of Thrones actors have a history in the adult film industry, particularly the extras who play prostitutes. Most notable is Sibel Kekili, who played Tyrion's mistress Shae. Number 8. Creating Westeros. The production of Game of Thrones spans numerous countries. Filming locations range from Croatia and Morocco to Iceland and Northern Ireland. Many of the places featured in the show have become popular tourist destinations, and it's been estimated that filming in Northern Ireland has brought more than $100 million to their economy. The ancient Moroccan city of Ouarza Zerta is also said to have seen a 100% increase in visitors thanks to the show. Number 7. Dire wolves are real. Dire wolves, the trusty pets of the Stark children, are actually based on an ancient species of real-life wolf. Canis dirus, which lived approximately 15,000 years ago, is thought to have been 25% larger than the modern grey wolf. Game of Thrones used northern Inuit dogs to recreate the beasts, digitally enlarging them in post-production. Sophie Turner, who plays Sansa Stark, adopted her dog Zuni from the show. The American Alsatian Breeders Association is currently conducting the Direwolf Project, breeding large, wolf-like Alsatians that look like the canines in the show and can be bought for $3,000 each. Number 6. You win or you die. Game of Thrones is famous for its brutality. There are an average of 4.5 murders per episode, and in the first 4 seasons of the show, 133 named characters were killed off. The deadliest episode is Blackwater, which saw thousands of casualties on both sides of the battle between the Lannister army and Stannis Baratheon's naval fleet. However, the most notoriously brutal scene came in the Reigns of Castamere, aka the Red Wedding, in which 7 named characters were shockingly killed off. Creator George R.R. Martin had hoped to be an extra in the episode. He wanted to appear as a casualty, but unfortunately his busy schedule prevented him from doing so. Number 5. Most pirated show. In 2015, BitTorrent announced that Game of Thrones was their most downloaded show for 4 years running. At 14.4 million times, it was pirated more than The Walking Dead and The Big Bang Theory combined. HBO chief Richard Plepler didn't seem too disheartened by this announcement though, asserting that pirating is a terrific marketing vehicle for the next generation of viewers, as it exposes the show to more people. And Game of Thrones still performs well on legal channels, with its 5th season finale drawing an audience of over 8 million viewers. Number 4. Lessons from history. George R.R. Martin took inspiration for numerous plot points from history. The ongoing story arc of the War of Five Kings is based on the 15th century War of the Roses, when different royal houses competed for the English throne. The author has also specified historical events that influenced his writing of the infamous Red Wedding scene. For example, the Black Dinner of 1440, which saw the Scottish Earl of Douglas and his young brother lured to a feast where they were brutally murdered. Number 3. Masters of Coin. Game of Thrones is currently one of the most expensive shows on TV, costing an average of $6 million to make each episode, or $60 million per series. In comparison, The Walking Dead costs approximately $2.75 million per episode. Most expensive episode of Game of Thrones was the Season 2 episode Blackwater, which cost a whopping $8 million. The budget was so great because the episode required more than 250 fight-train extras, a full-sized battleship, and ambitious visual effects. Number 2. The Dothraki language.
Ath-Jahakar.
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 Yes, Khaleesi.
The language used by the Dothraki warriors has actually been created. Working from the 30 Dothraki words used in George R.R. Martin's books, linguist David Peterson invented a language of 3,163 words, especially for the TV show. Although only a small fraction of those words had ever been used in the show, producers thought the language would appear more realistic if it was thoroughly fleshed out. Peterson's Dictionary of Dothraki even included pronunciations and rules for grammar and syntax. Number 1. Huge stars. Among the big stars who have joined the Game of Thrones cast is Neil Fingleton, the tallest man in Britain. At 233 centimetres or 7 foot 7 inches tall, Fingleton was ideal to play a giant at the head of the wildling army. Similarly, the role of Gregor the Mountain Clegane was played by Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, who is 2 metres tall, weighs 190 kilos, and is a top competitor in the world's strongest man contest. Researchers from Time magazine estimated that it is possible that, like the Mountain, Bjornsson would be able to exert the 235 kilograms of pressure necessary to crush a human skull with his bare hands.